guys! Welcome back to another album review. Today I'm going to be talking about True Defiance by Demon Hunter. I really gotta get all these Demon Hunter reviews out of the way so that I can, go back to school and not have to, worry about doing the Demon Hunter reviews. After this will be Extremist, and then that'll be it for the whole discography, and honestly, this is the one that I'm really excited to talk about because I think it is one of their best. Yeah, let's put the album cover up there. Let's go track by track like normal. Track 1 is Crucifix. It's just one of those in-your-face kind of quick-paced, heavy songs with all screamed vocals. And really, I think that the intro with kind of like the drums and the faded guitars are pretty cool. Honestly, the energy is just unmistakable in this song, and it's just pretty much near perfect, so good job, Demon Hunter. Track 2 is Godforsaken, and this is one that definitely was made to be a single with kind of like the catchy chorus, the kind of unique, really well done solo in the bridge, and the classic Demon Hunter style screamed verse, clean chorus kind of structure. And this is one that will get stuck in your head, guaranteed. And one of the best things about this one is the outro, because the kind of guitars, they sound very dark as they close it out. And it flows pretty nicely though. It has one of the best choruses on the album. Track 3 is My Destiny, and this is a very good one too. It has a really infectious guitar riff in the intro and the verse, and it's another good single song overall. The bridge has a nice little guitar solo that kind of repeats the chorus melody, which is nice. It fits the song very well. The biggest issue with this song is the chorus. There's something I really can't ignore with the chorus, and that is how overproduced Ryan's vocals are. He literally sounds like a robot. Like, I'm not even joking. If you've listened to the song, you know that there's a lot of harmonies layered on him when he's singing, but it's just overkill. It's too much. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't fit the rest of the song anyway, but other than that kind of annoyance I have with this song, it's another really great one, and I am glad they put it on the first half of the album. That was a good decision. Track 4 is Wake. It's kind of incredible how Demon Hunter has managed to create 4 just incredible songs in a row in the track listing. It's probably my favorite behind Crucifix, and I really love the energetic kind of synth heavy intro, and Ryan's singing here is just amazing. I mean, his singing towards the end of the verse, he's doing clean vocals, yet this song is pretty heavy for it having mostly clean vocals, so that is kind of interesting, I think. I like how the chaotic main guitar riff mixes with the drums nicely, the even mix of lead vocals and backup vocals in the chorus, they kind of trade off. It's really nice. I like one lyric from the song a lot, and that is, "Don't you follow the mass to an endless grave." Track 5 is Tomorrow Never Comes, and this is the first ballad to be found on here. Another good introduction to the band. The verse is, I guess, pretty standard and everything, but the pre-chorus kind of picks up the energy, and it carries it along really nicely. Ryan really carries the song, and he's the driving force that makes this song interesting, and that's how most Demon Hunter ballads are, and this one is no different. And it's a nice, really calm listen with a very nice transition from chorus to verse. The bridge kind of reminds me of The World's a Thorn with the kind of muted guitars in the background, but in a good way, because I did give The World's a Thorn a kind of mixed review, but I think that it captures the good moments of The World's a Thorn in this bridge. So yeah, I do think it's a pretty good track. Track 6 is Someone to Hate, and this was another single, actually. This was definitely the heavy single, because, I mean, it's a pretty brutal song overall. I mean, the chorus part is pretty clean and pretty, medium paced, I guess, but the rest of it is just, on 11, This is one that I always get pumped for whenever I'm listening to True Defiance, and as soon as Tomorrow Never Comes ends, I'm just like, ooh, we're in for a ride, because this song has a really tasteful guitar riff, some energetic double bass drumming, and the lyrics are very bold. The mix of cleans and screams in this track are very balanced for the most part. The bridge is kind of creepy, and it kind of reminded me of the self-titled album. I don't know if anyone else got that feeling. It's cool how, like, they managed to change their sound kind of gradually over the years, but they still haven't abandoned all their roots, and that's nice to see. Track 7 is This I Know, and this was actually one of the first tracks I heard off of this record. Like, as soon as I heard about True Defiance and I heard good things being said about it, I checked out a couple of the tracks on here, and one of them was This I Know, and I remember not being impressed with it, and to be honest, even though I do like the song and I think it is a good track, really my opinion hasn't changed that much since I first heard it, because this is where the second half of the album begins to pale in comparison to the first half. The intro is pretty nice, how the guitars kind of fade in, the wah pedal effect is on the guitars sounds kind of nice, you know. The verse is actually really well constructed with building guitars. The chorus is kind of short and forgettable, I guess. Like, it reminds me of like a bunch of the other choruses on this album, except for like a version that isn't as good as all those other choruses, if you know what I mean. With that being said though, the bridge is actually really good because there's some pretty technical, great guitar work in the bridge. Track 8 is Means to an End. Just why? Why is this a thing? Like, I'm sorry, but cut this thing down to half its size. Make it about 1.5 minutes long instead of 3 minutes long. And then this instrumental might have worked. I don't know though, because this random kind of filler instrumental was just thrown on here. The good thing is the acoustic guitar work and the atmosphere does remind me of old school Metallica, like something they would have done on Master of Puppets, or maybe even Ride the Lightning, but it's not strong enough, and definitely not technical or interesting enough to be a 3-minute track on its own. And I think that while this thing is enjoyable overall, Means to an End is enjoyable for the most part, I think that the decision to construct it the way they did and just kind of throw it on the album as a random filler kind of hurts True Defiance as an album. Track 9 is We Don't Care. I wish there was a better transition between track 8 and track 9, but that's only a kind of small annoyance. This song itself is actually really strong with this really quick-paced feel to it and a very kind of snarky attitude. Just the song title alone is really sassy for Demon Hunter, I think, and the song delivers that sassiness very well. I have to say, good job with the finger tapping solo too, Demon Hunter. Basically, this is a very underrated great track about kind of like the carelessness of the human race. Track 10 is Resistance, and you know, I guess Demon Hunter's allowed to do this technically. They're allowed to have at least 1 or 2 filler tracks on an album as strong as this. This track kind of blends in with everything in my opinion. There's really nothing at this point that makes it stand out other than the chorus, which only stands out because it's almost a one-word chorus, because Ryan sings resistance, resistance, resistance 4 times in the chorus. The good thing is that this song is salvageable because of the backup vocals, because it makes it a little bit interesting, especially the backup vocals towards the end of the chorus where it says Defiance on this day. I think that it makes this song have a little bit of something memorable to it, but the lyrics are pretty extreme, pretty bold. Other than that, Resistance is just like okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know, it's probably my least favorite next to Means to an End. And with that, we move on to track 11, which is Dead Flowers, and this closes out the standard edition of True Defiance. This song has kind of a catchy, echoing, kind of synthy riff, that kind of continues all throughout the intro and verse. There's a lot of production going on in the verse, but it's very soothing. The chorus is pretty nice. It almost has a churchy vibe, which is interesting. I don't usually see a lot of Demon Hunter songs that have a churchy vibe, but this does, I think. I really appreciate Ryan's vocal range in this track because he hits some pretty great notes in this song. And it is overall a good way to close out the album with this kind of power ballad. Personally, I don't come back to Dead Flowers that often, but I think that it was very smart to close the album out. Basically, overall, this is definitely one of my favorite Demon Hunter albums because I think that it's one of those things where each track just kind of delivers, and each track adds a lot to the album, you know, except for Means to an End, which actually takes away from the album, I think. But that's just my opinion. What's very interesting about this album is even though it has 11 tracks and even though it's close to 50 minutes long, I think, it feels short. When it ends, I get sad. I'm like, no, why does it have to end? I think that when you tear this album kind of apart, you tear the songs apart and kind of divide it, the songs themselves are strong on their own. I think that that's what makes the album as a whole so good because each part is just strong in its own way, I feel like. The only kind of missteps I see on the album are Resistance and Means to an End, but other than that, it's a pretty great record, and it's a lot heavier than The World's a Thorn, a lot heavier than Storm the Gates of Hell. Well, probably not a lot heavier, but still heavier. Because there's just a lot of just aggressive guitar work here, and some really great drums. Yogi's like really good drummer. He's pretty underrated, I think. And I especially like his work in the song Wake. And so overall, pretty great album. I would give it a light 9 out of 10. But yeah, that's just me, so leave your thoughts in the comments, tell me what you thought about this album, and leave me suggestions in the comments for what album you want me to review next because I'm open to suggestions, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.